Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
You could be driving
smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just two reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 Best Trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi gang, Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hello and welcome as we start another edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. As usual, I hope all is well with you and yours in your little bitty slice of South Louisiana heaven. Since the last opportunity, we spent some time with you earlier in the week. We start today's show with the segment that I would put on the label of, I love it when they prove me right. If you were with us this week, you may well remember the story of Georgia State Representative Misha Maynor, black woman, Democrat, who had an epiphany. She looked at the situation in her community for what it was and realized, in her words, the Democrat Party has done nothing but use and abuse the black community, saying in essence, they don't care anything about the black community. All they do is give us lip service. In her words, 90% of the time, black folks vote Democrat. And what do we have to show for it? Rhetorical question. We all know nothing to show for it. So she decided to switch parties from Democrat to Republican. I told you when the story broke, ooh, they're going to be coming for her. Didn't take long. Yesterday, she revealed on social media a bunch of the comments from her fellow Democrats after making this announcement. You want to know who the real racists are? Read some of the tweets that she received. Of course, now, if you know anything about politics, particularly partisan politics. You knew this was coming. You knew it was coming. They have called this woman every dirty name in the book. You name it, they've done it. And as is usually the case with most people of principle, she's sticking to her guns. As a matter of fact, she's doubled down on it. You know, that's one of the great things about simply telling the truth. You don't have to apologize for it. The truth is what the truth is. And she simply told the truth. So yesterday on CNN LOL prime time, they invited her in for an interview. And of course, being CNN LOL, she being a black woman, who decides the Democrats aren't doing anything for us, I'm going to talk with the folks on the other side of the aisle and join them. As you can imagine, they were ready for the ambush. But bless her heart, God bless this sister, stuck to her guns and laid it out pure and simple. As a matter of fact, she pointed out, quote, "Where I live, there is not a single Republican in office. We can't blame Republicans. Democrats need to blame themselves for the problems in the black community. Every single policy issue that is important to my community was a policy issue that the Republicans were supporting. Every single issue." Now, all of this started primarily over two issues: rising crime and failing schools. And of course, those two issues affect the community of color probably more than any others. So with rising crime, what do Democrats want to do? Defund the police. Have fewer officers in communities ravaged by crime. Schools failing our young people to no end. And while conservatives, Republicans, want you to have the right to be able to put your kid in a better performing school using the tax dollars that the government takes from you, Democrats are against it. She went down the line saying every major city where black folks are having all sorts of problems, Democrats are in charge. Listen, y'all, this is not about, and please understand me thoroughly, in the words of the late, great Dr. Isaac Greggs, this is not about black or white. This is about America. And the fact of the matter is, when you have one group of people that every single election, minimum 90% of the time, you vote for and only for one party, you should, in making these people our, quote, leaders, you should be able to reasonably expect decent results. Here's a question. If you doubt the sincerity of what I said, if you doubt the authenticity of what she is saying, ask yourself this. Name two things. Better yet, name one. One thing. That's all I ask you to name. One thing that the black community in America has to be proud of that was done by Democrats. Just one. I'll give you time because you're going to need it. And God forbid, I ask, name me one thing that the Biden-Harris administration has done that has the black community feeling really good about itself and about our government. I'll wait, because you're going to need a whole lot of time. But then again, it doesn't really make sense to wait because you're not going to come up with anything. At the end of the day, y'all, America cannot prosper until we all prosper. America cannot be all that America can be unless and until every community is the best that it can be. And in order for that to happen, we have to have good schools. We have to have adequate health care. We have to have a general consensus on what government should and should not do. And the list goes on and on. And in none of those instances can the black community be proud. Now, I told you they were going to be coming after this woman. Misha Maynor voluntarily drew a big old target on her back. But you know, something you'll learn when you have your own epiphany, something you will learn when you decide that I'm only going to tell the truth about an issue. Initially, it's not comfortable, particularly in today's cancel culture. Now, if you've been doing it as long as I have, you don't give it a second thought. The truth is its own reward. Say what you will about Clarence's personality, about his skin color, about his political affiliations, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's one thing that remains true. Clarence tells you the truth. Unlike a lot of y'all, I'm not afraid to tell the truth. Y'all know me. Y'all know me by now. If it needs to be said, Clarence will say it. Sure will. Why? Because I've got a vested interest in this country being the best that it can be. Because people that look like me for many, many years had to settle for less than the best. For many years, we did not have the rights, the freedoms, the liberties that the rest of America had. Now that we have those rights, particularly the right to be involved in the political process, I, like many others, demand that we get some sort of return on our investment. Voting for this same group of people over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you can't name me one thing that the black community can be proud of, should tell you maybe it's time you think about voting for somebody else. Just an observation. First break of today's show. Speaking of cancel culture, when we come back, I am not a country music fan per se, but I might have to become a Jason Aldean fan here in a minute. Don't try that in a small town. We'll talk about that next when we continue this edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, It starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
You could be driving a Honda.
Improved from the front grille to the tailgate and equipped to take you on the adventure of a lifetime, the ride is just different in this new Pilot seat. Come see the all-new 2023 Honda Pilot, now on sale at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Seagan Lane.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Welcome back to this edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, life is a funny thing in that the old saying is, if you live long enough, you'll just about see it all. What is particularly disturbing as an American these days is how we have gravitated toward making decisions and attempting to make laws based on nothing other than someone's feelings. You know, in a nation of 330 plus million people, I would like to think it is nearly impossible to come up with a rule, a regulation, a law that someone, somewhere in this country is not going to have their precious little feelings hurt. That's not the way this is supposed to operate. As an American, I have the right to feel any way I want about anything. But I do not have the right to expect legislation, a law, based solely on my feelings. Well, were you physically injured by this? No. Okay. Was your property damaged by your feelings being hurt? Well, no. So nothing actually physically happened. It was just your feelings were hurt. Well, yeah. The cancel culture has managed to take hold in this country. And For the life of me, I cannot understand how people can expect such because of their feelings. Here's a news flash. There are people in this country that will wake up one day feeling a certain way. And then after going through certain things, or simply waking up the next day, they now have different feelings. Words, if you listen to those on the left, are physical tools that bring harm. I wish I could sit down with a room full of millennials and get their take on something we were raised as baby boomers and members of the greatest generation. The old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. My, how far we have fallen. So this week, country music star Jason Aldean releases a song entitled Try That in a Small Town. The song alludes to what many of us as Americans are sick and tired of, and darn it, we're not taking it anymore. He talks about how in big cities, people lose their minds over whatever. Rioting, looting, burning, crime out of control. He says in the song, don't try that in a small town. Small town America, they don't play that. Oh, and they're armed. Well, needless to say, the liberals lost their freaking minds. CMT, Country Music Television, yanked the video off the air. And you know what happened, right? The song immediately jumped to #1 on the country music charts. You would think these clowns would know better. And the fact of the matter is, all Jason did was simply put words to what small town and mainstream America is feeling these days. Oh, but you inciting violence, and you're not taking into account people's feelings. I wish this was not a family show, because then I could really tell you what I think about your feelings. But that's a different show for a different day. So he's now been banned from CMT. All the libs are coming out of the closet now, bashing him, bashing him, bashing him. He is unapologetic, and rightfully so. What did I say in the first segment? The good thing about telling the truth is that you never have to apologize for it. Ironically, the very next day, after CMT pulls his video from the air, won't let people see it, the very next day, Tiff City, Missouri, Tiff, Tiff City. That sounds like a real small town, and you'd be right. Tiff City, Missouri sits right on the border between Missouri and Oklahoma. Little bitty town. God decides, I think they have some valuable stuff in this house. So I'm going to take my gun, I'm going to go and break in and steal the stuff. Well, apparently, the two homeowners were Jason Aldean fans, because both of them were armed. Mr. Would-be burglar breaks in the house, fires a shot. And you know who fired back, right? Yeah, both homeowners. Both barrels. Well, no, it was handgun. One in each thigh. And of course, Mr. would-be burglar drops to the floor. The 67-year-old homeowner who put the first slug in him then held him down at gunpoint until police arrived. Wouldn't try that in a small town. Of course, he knows now, maybe had CMT let the video run, that idiot may have seen the song and thought twice about what he was about to do. Listen, y'all, I am in no way, shape, or form advocating violence. Let's get that straight. But the fact of the matter is, small town, medium-sized town, large city, Americans are getting sick and tired of this crap. And we're at a point now where not only are Americans sick and tired of this, they're not going to sit by and just take it anymore. Of course, now, if liberals were really all that serious about gun control, the first thing they would do is get their own party members to stop killing each other, stop robbing people, stop shooting people, if they were really serious about the problem. But as usual, the Democrats' solution to a bunch of Democrats not able to govern themselves is to punish the law-abiding people and take their guns so that they cannot protect themselves from the Democrats who won't obey the law. What could possibly go wrong? Jason, Mrs. Aldean, keep preaching the truth, brother. America needs to hear it. And as long as you are telling the truth, don't ever apologize for it. The truth is what the truth is. Don't care who it hurts. Don't care whose precious little feelings get hurt. It's the truth. Deal with it. Speaking of dealing with things, if you're still on the fence for whatever reason about going ahead and getting your final arrangements taken care of, here's a great opportunity. I'm not going to fuss at you. I'm not going to fuss because I understand end-of-life decisions are not comfortable for everybody. But Lee Serio is going to make it as easy as it can be. Here in South Louisiana, we love our food. So what is Lee proposing? Well, if you come on out to Old School Barbecue, Thursday, the 27th, 11 a.m., not only can you witness the live taping of the show, but immediately thereafter, lunch is on Lee. And you can get all of your questions answered regarding, okay, Lee, where do I start? What's the benefit? How do I take advantage? It's a nice, relaxed setting. There'll be other people here, so you don't have to worry about, I wonder if somebody's going to ask this question. Come on out. It'll be comfortable. You'll get some great food. Lee is as easy to talk to as the day is long. And on top of all of that, you get to stick your chest out when you go home and say, honey, I finally did it. Got it all taken care of. And that smile that you will get from your spouse and your kids, knowing that they've got peace of mind, is something you cannot put a dollar figure on. Just saying. Thursday, the 27th, be here. We'll be looking for you. 11 a.m., we start the show. Immediately thereafter, Lee Serio answers all of your questions. Oh, and did I mention free of charge? Well, it's free to you, not free to Lee, because he's going to pick up the tab for your lunch right here at Old School Barbecue. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, Louisiana news and something that's really got me on the fence. I need your help on this one. We'll talk about that when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Come see the all-new Mazda CX-90, now on sale at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. In Louisiana news, a very disturbing story this week. All across this country, doesn't matter, small town, medium-sized town, major city. We've seen the scourge of fentanyl impacting Americans' lives. Last year, over 107,000 of our fellow Americans died from an fentanyl-related opioid overdose. And for those of you that may be of the opinion, well, that only happens in major cities. Nothing could be further from the truth. This week, in Zachary, small town, an 11-year-old nearly dies after smoking fentanyl-laced marijuana given to him by his 16-year-old brother. Now, I don't know about the household you were raised in, but I've got to imagine most people watching right now don't even want to entertain the idea of what would have happened to them at 16 if it were found out that you gave fentanyl-laced marijuana to your 11-year-old sibling to smoke. Fortunately, in this instance, Narcan was readily available, and the 11-year-old did not die. But so many questions. And I guess, you know, we hear all the time, this is not your grandfather's whatever, fill in the blank. This is not your daddy's whatever, fill in the blank. This is not 16 the way you and I experienced 16 years old. Not only was this 16-year-old able to procure marijuana, but apparently had no problem giving it to his 11-year-old brother. Now listen, y'all, I get it. 16 years of age, you're not probably nearly as aware as adults are about the prevalence of fentanyl in America and its presence in illegal drugs. Of course, now, White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre told us not so very long ago that fentanyl is at historic low levels in America. Liar, liar, skirt on fire. But that's the world in which we live. Parents, you better talk to your kids. Parents, I know y'all want to be your child's friend. I get that. But you need to do like the parents of us baby boomers did. Turn that mattress over and see what's underneath. Go in that closet, pull everything out, and see what's in there. Talk to your children's friends. Find out who their parents are, where they work, the whole nine. And while they may not, at the end of the day, when they become adults, they may not ever thank you for being a real parent. When they live long enough to be adults and have a family of their own, if nothing else, you will be able to pat yourself on the back for being their parent instead of being their friend. Just saying. In other Louisiana news, just this week, we talked about Baton Rouge is the #1 city in America for the possibility of being hit and killed by a drunk driver. And we talked about how bad drivers are in Baton Rouge. And I mentioned at the time, we could fix a lot of the stuff on the roads if y'all just committed yourself to doing old people stuff. Just do old people stuff. Obey the speed limit like old people. Put on your seatbelt like old people. Use your turn signal. Old people stuff. Don't tailgate. Follow at the correct distance so if there's an emergency, you can get out of the way. Old people stuff. But you doing old people stuff is not enough. You have to teach your children as well. Tragic case. Livingston Parish. 4 people in a Volkswagen Beetle, none of whom were properly restrained. Car leaves the roadway, hits a tree. Driver is killed. The other 3 ejected from the vehicle. And you've heard me say this before. It is estimated that if you get ejected from your car at just 30 miles an hour, not 40, not 50, not 60, not 70, 30. If your head hits the windshield at 30 miles an hour, it's 30,000 pounds of force per square inch. I know a whole lot of hard-headed people, but none of them have heads that hard. It's too simple, y'all. It's too simple. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your family. Do it for your friends. Do it for your loved ones. These are what I always call self-inflicted wounds. These are the things that we do to ourselves that we could very easily avoid. Finally, in Louisiana news, the jury is still out with me on this one. This week, after talking about Baton Rouge is the #1 city, not just in Louisiana, but in America, for the possibility of being hit and killed by a drunk driver. Well, this week, the LSU food pantry received a check for $69,000. It was because at the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska, last week, 2 weeks ago, LSU fans purchased 68,000 and change Jell-O shots from a local bar. Not only did we break the previous record, we obliterated the record. Woo! #1. Go Tigers. Now, I have to wonder, what is the message that we're sending? We're already #1 in the entire nation as far as the possibility of you being hit and killed by a drunk driver. And we go to Omaha, Nebraska, and obliterate the record for a fan base consuming Jell-O shots. I don't know where I stand on this one just yet. There's a part of me, the conservative, that says, I got you. The conservative part of me that says, govern yourselves accordingly. But there's also a part of me that says, our kids are always watching who we are and what we do. And does this not send the wrong message to them? I'm going to have to think about this one for a little bit, and I'll get back with you on that. Speaking of things that want to get back with you, there is an opportunity just around the corner for you to do some great things to help our kids as they go back to school. And we've got a friend that we would sincerely appreciate you helping. You probably remember the name Wendell Williams, former Louisiana collegiate football player, former NFL football player. Well, he has put together, along with the Good Times Bass Club, Stuff the Boat supply drive. Normally it's Stuff the Bus. But if you're talking about a bass club, well, it only stands to reason. They want to stuff the boat. You'll see on the screen, the graphic there, July 22nd from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. at the Walmart in Prairieville. They need all of the things that our young people need to go back to school ready to learn. Kids already have enough distractions. The last thing they need distracting them from learning is the fact that they don't have pencils, they don't have ink pens, they don't have paper, they don't have a book bag, all of this stuff. This is your opportunity, y'all, to step up and help those kids. By the way, Wendell Williams is a friend of everybody's friend, Gary Rasponi. You've seen him on Paradise, Louisiana, right here on the Pelican. He is also a friend, is Wendell, of Pelican Broadcasting. So, if you go out and help Wendell stuff the boat, not only will you be helping Wendell, not only will you be helping the Good Times Bass Club, not only will you be helping Clarence and Pelican, but more important, you'll be helping our kids. And what better cause out there than to help our kids? Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up this edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close. Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements, and that's where Licerio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Licerio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Licerio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, as a member of this institution and as an American that loves this country, I've always had a particular fondness and pride in the media. Well, at least until recent memory. Knowing that if there is something the American people need to know about, they are not going to forsake their duty. They are not going to let their personal feelings interfere. They are simply going to give us the facts and let us make up our own mind. But this week, a couple things happened that lead me to question how much longer is the media going to be able to, and how much longer is the media going to attempt to hide from the American people the seriousness of Joe Biden's mental health. Did y'all see this week sitting there with an Israeli government official talking with the media, and all of a sudden, clear out of the blue, the leader of the free world's head does this. And he's still talking, but then it very rapidly devolves to gibberish. And of course, White House officials immediately usher all of the press out of the room. Joe Biden also this week exiting Marine One, the helicopter that transports the president. As you well know, with Marine One, Air Force One, Air Force Two, what have you, there's always a Marine standing at the bottom of the stairs to salute the commander-in-chief. No, they catch him as he's walking. This is after he gets to the bottom. There's always a Marine, Mr. President, saluting the commander-in-chief. Joe Biden gets to the bottom of the stairs, looking at the Marine standing right there, and doesn't know what to do. He just stands there, looking at the Marine. And eventually, he raises his hand maybe 2 or 3 inches, puts it back down, and walks away. Earlier this week, he announces, my re-election campaign for president, my headquarters is going to be at my house. You know what that is, right? His handlers know. There's no way physically Joe Biden can get out in the midst of the American public and wage a campaign. And there's no way we can expose him to the rigors of a presidential campaign without him saying something really, 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 really bad. So what are we going to do? Well, we'll hide him at the house and hope for the best. Of course, now, if you're a betting person, you might be tempted to say, well, it worked last time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is getting harder and harder and harder to hide Joe Biden's actual physical and mental health from the American people. And as disheartening as that is, to think that the media would go along with attempting to keep this from you is probably the worst aspect of it all. The one institution that we would expect to play straight with us, the one institution that we would expect, no matter how ugly it is, how distasteful it is, at least they will have the backbone to give us the facts. And as my friend Dow said not long ago, you can tell this is not going to be, God bless him, one of those situations where the deterioration is gradual and ever so slight. Joe Biden's doing this, y'all. And this man has the nuclear codes and is the leader of the free world. But the good news is, if he should not be able to fulfill his duties, we got Kamala Harris in line. Oh, wait, that's the bad news. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But you already know the drill. Yes, sir. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're 100% right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you know he loves you. And I hope you know that I do too. Best news is, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless. Thank you.